afterburners, which are basically jet engines with extra fire. They would gulp fuel just to push through the sound barrier. And when they did, they created a sonic boom. A pressure wave so loud it could break windows. But the real genius was the nose. That beautiful delta wing created a problem because to generate enough lift at slow landing speeds, Concorde had to approach the runway at a steep angle. From the cockpit, pilots could not see the runway because the nose was simply in the way. So engineers designed the nose to droop. It literally hinges down 5 degrees for takeoff and landing, then retracts back up for flight. They called it the droop snoot. Yeah, really, because the snoot drooped. It looks ridiculous, like a bird looking for worms. But without it, pilots were blind. It was goofy, but it was genius, and people loved it. Kids would hear that distinctive roar and run to windows just to watch it take off. Because look at it next to everything else. While every other plane looked like a tube with wings, Concorde looked like a dart. On January 21, 1976, Concorde enters commercial service. The cabin was narrow, with only 4 seats across. Seats were fine, not spacious, but nobody cared about the seat size. They did not care because of the Mach meter on the wall. Passengers would see it creep up to 0.99, and then, click, Mach 1. The whole cabin would erupt in applause. Every single flight. At cruise, Concorde flew at 60,000 feet, 11 miles high. You could see the curvature of the earth, and the sky was not blue anymore. It was a deep purple, almost black space. Flight attendants served champagne and caviar at 1,350 miles per hour, a full French meal that took 2.5 hours, so by the time you finished dessert, you were landing in New York. British Airways added routes from London to New York, Washington, and Barbados. Air France flew to Rio and Caracas. But the most insane route was to Hong Kong's Kai Tak Airport. The approach there was legendary. Pilots had to bank hard right between apartment buildings just to hit a runway jutting into the harbor. That airport closed in 1998. If you think flying supersonic is crazy, wait until you see the footage of those landings. We're doing a deep dive on that next week, so yeah, hit subscribe so you don't miss that one. But back to the fleet. Only 20 aircraft were built in total. And despite what you might think, Concorde's safety record was actually good. For 27 years, it flew without a fatal accident, until the year 2000. On July 25, 2000, Air France Flight 4590 was taxiing for takeoff from Paris. During the roll, a tire runs over a titanium strip on the runway that had fallen off another plane. The tire explodes. A 4-pound chunk of rubber slams into the wing at 200 miles per hour. The impact creates a massive pressure wave inside the full fuel tank, causing the tank wall to fail and rupture. Fuel sprays out and ignites. The entire left side is on fire. 90 seconds after takeoff, the plane crashes into a hotel in Gonesse. 113 people were killed. The fleet was grounded immediately. Investigators figured it out. They redesigned the tanks with Kevlar, installed burst-resistant tires, and after 15 months of testing, Concorde returns to service in November 2001. It flew, and it was fixed. But look at those seats. They are empty. September 11th had happened, so the airline industry was in crisis and luxury travel collapsed. But Concorde kept flying for 2 more years. If the crash killed it, why was it still in the air? On April 10, 2003, British Airways and Air France announced Concorde will retire. Air France